This is for class 10 biology chapter number 6, life processes. As the name suggests, life. So, what is life? If I ask you, suppose any organism is alive or dead, how do we come to know that it is living or dead? If I give you an example of a dog which is running, or a cow which is chewing cud, or a man who is shouting loudly. So, by looking at the movements, by looking at their actions, we come to know that they are living. Right? Okay, now just imagine the same three organisms or living creatures, they are sleeping. So, how do we come to know that they are living or dead? By seeing them breathing. It means we see small movement is taking place. By that we can say that the organisms are living or dead. But what about plants? In plants, we can't actually see physically the breathing action taking place. So, how can we say that a plant is living or dead? So, by looking at its green color. So, by looking at the green leaves, we can say that the plant is living. Now, again, the question arises, there are some plants which have leaves other than green, called as crotons, right? So, how can we say that the plant is living or dead? So we know that the plants grow over time. So by looking at the growth, we can say that it is living. Now just imagine, suppose if we talk about a sapling is growing into a tree or a big plant, then we can actually see the growth is there, and we can tell that the plant is living. But if the plant or a tree is already matured, okay, it has reached its maximum height, so we can't actually see the growth also, or the growth will be very, very slow to identify. So in that case, how do we say that the plant is living or dead, right? So in short, just by looking at the movements or just by looking at the growth, we can't actually tell whether a living organism is really living or dead. Again, there are some organisms which are called as microbes. They are so small that the organism itself can't be seen with a naked eye. In such organism, there is movement taking place, which is called as movement of molecules. Now, which molecules are moving? The molecules can be solid, liquid, or gas, right? In class 9, we have talked a lot about diffusion, osmosis, then endocytosis, exocytosis, endosmosis, and exosmosis. Just recall all those terms in which net movement of molecules take place, right? So can we see this molecular movement with our naked eyes? No, not actually, right? So again, one more question is, if we talk about viruses, virus is also a type of microbe only, right? So in viruses, we do not see any net movement of molecules also, unless and until it invades some living cell, or unless and until it infects some living cell. So that is still a controversy whether they are living or non-living, right? This we know. So in general, just by looking at the movements and just by looking at the growth, we can't actually tell whether an organism is living or non-living. Now again, we know that matter is of two types, okay? Living and non-living, right? Now, all living organisms as well as non-living organisms, they are made up of some basic elements. What are the basic elements they are made up of? They are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. Right? Now, it is actually difficult to distinguish between a living organism and a non-living organism. But we have some characteristics on the basis of which we can distinguish between living and non-living organisms. And the characteristics of living beings. All living beings are made up of cell. The cell is the structural and functional unit of living organisms that we know. Then all living organisms inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide during respiration. Then the third characteristic is that all the living organisms require food to perform different activities, right? Or the different life processes. Then they exhibit growth and development. See, millions of cells, they die out, and new cells are produced every second in our body. Okay, this we know. Then the growth and development work is continuously, the repair work is continuously going on in our body. Then all living organisms show movement, they show a response to stimuli, and they exhibit reproduction. So these are the basic characteristics which distinguish between living beings and non-living beings. Okay, so all living organisms, we know that they are made up of tiny structural and functional units called cells. Now, these cells are made up of protoplasm. What is a protoplasm? Protoplasm is also called as the living matter of the cell, where all the biochemical activities or reactions, all the metabolic activities take place in the living matter or in the protoplasm of the cell. Right? What is protoplasm? Protoplasm is nothing but cytoplasm plus nucleus. Both of them combined together becomes protoplasm. So now, as we are talking about cell, now some organisms are made up of only single cell, so they are called as unicellular organisms, and some are made up of multiple cells or more than one cells, they are called as multicellular organisms. Right? Now, whether an organism is unicellular or multicellular, all of them perform some basic functions or processes for the maintenance of their lives, even when they are sleeping or not doing anything. Right? So all the processes which together perform this maintenance job and are essential for sustaining life are called life processes. Right? So what we are saying is the cell may be unicellular or the organism may be unicellular or multicellular organisms. Right? Now, we know that because of the external environmental conditions, right, these basic structures which are called as cells, they break down. Right? So if now just imagine if the cell break down or the cell get damaged, then what will happen? The tissue, which is a group of cells, it will get damaged, then the organ will get damaged, then the organ system will get damaged, and the entire organism will no longer be alive. Right? If this order, that is cell, tissue, then organ system, organism, if this chain breaks down, the organism will no longer be alive. So living creatures, all the living creatures must keep repairing and maintaining their structures. That is why we are saying that the continuously maintenance work is going, repair work is going on in the body of all the living organisms for the sustenance of life, for the maintenance of life. Right? So, and these are nothing but the life processes. Now, just see this. Life processes. Living organisms, whether unicellular or multicellular, perform some basic functions or processes Now, which processes? These are the different processes which all living organisms has to carry out, which we will be studying later, for the maintenance of their life. Because we know that if the order breaks down, then the entire organism breaks down, right? So and the organism will die. And the processes which together perform this maintenance job and are essential for sustaining life are called life processes. So all these processes combined together are called as life processes. So what are the different life processes which are carried out in the body of a living organism? They are nutrition, that is taking in food and converting into simple compounds to get energy. Then respiration, transport of materials, right? That is transport system in human beings. We already have studied about the transportation of materials in class 7. You must have studied this, right? Then excretion, that is throwing out wastes from the body. Control and coordination, that is this is nothing but the nervous system. Then movement and locomotion, that is here skeletal system is involved, right? And locomotion, that is moving from one place to another, right? So all these are the different important life processes which are taking place in the body of living organisms for the sustenance of life. Right? Now, one more thing, this word you will come across many times while studying this chapter, that is metabolism. Now, what is metabolism? The sum total of various biochemical reactions occurring in the living organism. See, metabolism is nothing but if we consider a cell, right? And inside the cell, protoplasm is present. So, all the chemical reactions whichever are taking place, they are taking place in the protoplasm, that is a living matter, right? And all these sum total, all these biochemical reactions together is nothing but metabolism. Okay, that term is called as metabolism. Now, life processes. Now, as we are talking about life processes, we will differentiate this for unicellular and multicellular organisms also. Here, see, specific organs are not present to perform specific function. Unicellular, so single cell is going to perform all the life processes for unicellular organisms, whereas for multicellular, specific organs are present to perform specific function, right? So here, in unicellular, division of labor is not there. Here, division of labor is there. So, life of unicellular is very short and life of multicellular is long life. Then, processes occur by diffusion, right? These life processes, which life? Nutrition, then respiration, that is exchange of gases. See, just imagine, just take an example of amoeba. Now, we know that amoeba is unicellular organism, right? So what is happening in unicellular organism? Taking in food, that is nutrition, then gaseous exchange, that is respiration, then excretion process, right? Then transportation process, that is moving molecules from one part of the cell to another part of the cell, right? So only as there is only single cell present, and this cell is in direct contact with the environment, right? So through diffusion, all these processes are taking place in unicellular organism, right? However, in complex multicellular organisms, what is happening? All the body cells, they are not exposed to the external environment, because it is a huge organism as compared to a unicellular organism. So all the cells are not in direct contact with the environment. So exchange of gases, then intake and exit of food, entry and exit of food, all these, then transportation, that cannot be through simple diffusion, right? So in such organisms, specialized organs or organ systems carry out different life processes. We know various systems in our body. If we talk about humans, there is a digestive system is there, which is going to perform some different function. Then respiratory system is there, nervous system, skeletal system. All these systems, different systems are present to carry out different life processes in our body, right? So this is the basic difference between unicellular and multicellular organisms. Now, as we say that the maintenance job or the maintenance of cells is continuously going on in our body. So for the maintenance work, that is, even when we are sleeping or we are not doing anything, that time also many cells are dying and many new cells are produced. So for this maintenance, for this repair work, we need energy, right? So where do we get this energy from? From the food which we eat, right? Now, some living organisms directly take simple substances from the environment, like plants, right? Whereas animals do not, they depend on plants. They do not take the simple food, whereas they eat complex food, and the digestive system which is present in their bodies, they convert this complex food into simple food, and then it is absorbed into the blood, right? Now, how do we release energy from this food, right? So the taking in food and converting it into simple form, that process is nothing but nutrition process. That process is nothing but nutrition process, right? Then once the food is converted into simple form, right, then what happens? We need to release energy out of the food, so by the process of respiration. So during respiration, what we do, oxidation of food takes place and energy is released in the form of ATP, which we use to perform different activities, right? Now, during respiration, what happens? Many byproducts, many wastes are also generated, right, which are not required in our body. So we need to excrete that out, right? So for that purpose, there is one more system which is present in our body, which is called as excretory system. Also, the food, the nutrients which are absorbed by the blood, they has to reach each and every cell of our body to keep them living, right? So for that purpose, we need a transport system. So this is the transport system, transport of materials. Which materials? Nutrients, then oxygen, right? So then whatever wastes are generated, they are to be transported to the excretory organs also. So we need a transport system also. So in this chapter, we are going to study these four life processes, and they are nutrition. This we are going to study in detail. Nutrition, then respiration, right? Then third is transportation, and fourth is excretion. So in the next part, we will be studying the first life process, which is nutrition. That's all for now. Thank you.